No matter.
Sir, I'm going to find you in contempt if you keep talking over me and being disrespectful.
That's what
Sir,
I was
please don't
asking.
interrupt me.
That's why I had a question.
Sir,
When you're done.
stop. If you want to
Before I get to that, I
represent,
had questions.
sir,
That's what I'm saying.
stop.
I had
Stop
before that.
interrupting me.
Party. So
Sir, quit repeating yourself.
if there's a hurt party, can you present the hurt party to me?
I may have to find you in contempt. Is that what you're trying to get
I'm
me?
not arguing about the court. I'm trying to understand.
Can you not understand what I'm saying?
But
Sir, you
did you
better
not?
go back to law school because I don't think you got the education you need to represent yourself.
This sovereign citizen was just completely destroyed in court by a non-nonsense judge. And from beginning to end, this clown will not stop talking. He is in court for a DUI. And instead of acting appropriately, he is attempting to outsmart the judge with Facebook legal advice. How do these sovereign citizens still think this stuff works? Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this idiot and what his IQ is. Let's dive in and watch this non-nonsense judge completely destroy this idiot's sovereign citizen live in court.
This is case number 2023 TR3 00060, State of Kansas versus Isaiah S. Curvin. Now then, Jill Gillette, County Attorney, appears for the state, and the defendant, Isaiah Curvin, appears in person and pro se. This is the pretrial hearing. The trial is set for jury Wednesday and Thursday of this week, February 7 and 8. There is one count of operating a motor vehicle without a valid license. Now, that seems to the court to be you either had a license or you didn't. Of course, the burden would be on the state to show there was no license, but Mr. Curvin, are you challenging that? Are you saying you did have a valid license?
No, I had a question before all that about the jurisdiction. I was challenging jurisdiction because I had a question about that.
Okay.
I wanted to know the cause and nature of what's bringing the suit against you. So I really didn't understand.
All right. Well, the people of Kansas, as you probably know, get together ever so often and have elections to elect people to represent them in Topeka, the state capital, and those legislators pass laws that are for the good of all of us in theory, maybe in practice, and then we are to follow those laws. One of the laws at some point in time that those legislators made was that if we are going to operate a motor vehicle in Kansas, we have to have a valid driver's license. And if you do not have a valid driver's license when driving the automobile, it is to be treated as a Class B non-person misdemeanor. And they set the penalties of up to 6 months in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. So the authority comes from the people of the state of Kansas that pass the laws through their elected representatives.
The judge is literally answering his question, but this guy isn't even listening. Instead, he's over here mentally going through his Facebook script, thinking, oh, okay, what's my next magical phrase that'll make the court disappear? I genuinely feel like these sovereign citizens are only bringing up jurisdiction to prolong the case as long as possible. This isn't a Netflix series, so you don't need extra episodes. As if this sovereign citizen believes that the judge's robe will simply change into a pumpkin or something if he says the correct combination of words.
And they also pass laws, have judges, and I'm one of those judges that presides over these type of cases. They also pass the law that you can't have a jury trial for this type of offense. And so that's the authority, that's the nature of it. It's a traffic case, but it's also designated a criminal case, a B misdemeanor. So does that help you with your question, sir, or is there something else we need to address?
Well, yes, I have another question. When you say it's been criminal, would that gives the court 2 ways? Sixth Amendment actually gives the court 2 ways to do it. They can do it through either common law or is it culpable maritime admiralty law? Which one am I want to be tried under? With jurisdiction?
This is neither common law nor admiralty law. This is criminal law under the Constitution of the state of Kansas, as affected by case law and federal law, of course.
So it's neither common nor color
That is
amateur.
correct. That
It's
is
neither one.
correct. Neither.
So which one? What am I going to be tried under? What jurisdictional authority, so I can properly move in, so I can understand how to defend myself.
You're being tried under the criminal jurisdiction of the Kansas statutes.
Statutes, but under the Constitution, it grants you only two, and it has two criminal matters. One has to be common law, the other has to be a maritime amnesty.
What I don't understand, and if you have figured out the secret about these sovereign citizens, please let me know in the comments, is why these clowns don't just hire a lawyer if they intend to bombard the judge with questions during a press conference. For example, why turn the courtroom into a 20-question game when you could have someone trained to do this for free? I'm pretty sure that's the whole purpose of providing legal counsel, right? No, these people would rather play legal Jeopardy with no idea what any of the answers mean. Man, these people are just brain damaged.
Ms. Gillette, do you wish to be heard in response? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you out.
Judge, this is basically kind of more of a statutory violation. This defendant, when you enter into the state of Kansas, you consent to the laws of Kansas when you drive upon the highways. The interstate compact between all of the states that are members of the interstate compact for traffic infractions means that when you consent to the laws of your state, or you drive upon or travel upon the roads of Kansas, Oklahoma, any of the states that are part of the compact, you consent to those laws when you enter into that state. So with the interstate compact, he would be consenting to the laws of the state of Kansas the moment he drives across the border. That law becomes effectual upon you, and it's your responsibility. It's when you become a licensed driver, or you have a license, or you become a driver and you're driving, then you are consenting to the laws of that state that you are traveling within. So jurisdiction is set up, as the judge said, by the Constitution of the state of Kansas and the laws of the legislature that are passed statutorily, and our statutes are passed with the law in this case. I would note for the record, Judge, that there is still no things on Odyssey for me to see. There's not a written request for jury trial. There's no motions to be heard today. I cannot respond to any motions because there's none on file.
Well,
Therefore, if
right
he is going to file anything of record for me to respond to, he would need to have his filings on file at least 7 days advance of a hearing for me to respond, and that there is no proper written request for a jury trial at this time. Therefore, this case could go to bench trial on Wednesday, and we would not have to have a jury present due to the fact that there is a lack of request for jury trial. And if there is no written request for jury trial, the case goes to bench trial.
And since this moron most likely doesn't even know how to make a request for a jury trial, he will soon face this no-nonsense judge. And to be honest, it will be fantastic since this guy has no chance at all. In addition to being a sovereign citizen, this man is sitting there looking like he's about to order pizza rather than stand up for himself in court.
He's wanting to argue jurisdiction, dismissal motions, and all kinds of motions. There's nothing before the court in writing for me to respond to. I don't know what he's going to say. So one of our other pro se individuals had written several motions. Most were very lacking, but at least I had something to respond to. In this case, under the laws and Constitution of Kansas, you submit when you come into our jurisdiction. Therefore, when he traveled into Kansas and operated a motor vehicle, he consented to the laws and jurisdiction of Kansas. And I would say that we have jurisdiction, and that lack of venue and jurisdiction is denied, should be denied.
I had a question about that because when you say that I consented, is there like a form with that like that would that be under? That would be civil. Would
Sir,
that be a criminal matter?
you consented by your conduct of going on to a road that is a state of Kansas highway and a.
So which jurisdiction would be under? Like would that be like maritime, like as a
Sir,
contract?
I've answered that question to you, and you got on the road and you consented to driving on the road, and therefore you did consent to laws associated with driving. So I am going to hold you to the law in this particular case. Now,
what I'm understanding, when you say the cause of nature, and but that's why I was not understanding still about that, because you said the cause of nature, and I asked,
sir, if you want me to entertain any of your arguments, you need to have them well thought out, and you need to have them in writing, and you need to have them, sir, listen to me, please. You need to have them in writing. You need to have them filed with the court. You need to give copies and notice to Miss Gillette so she can have an opportunity to respond. And I'm not going to entertain this process throughout the proceedings where you come in and you just start saying things.
Bingo, I'm seriously loving how Judge Webster is handling this so far. She's calm, sharp, and clearly not putting up with any nonsense. Total pro. Honestly, I'm kind of shocked this guy didn't file any motions or even request a jury trial on paper. It's like this might be his first time trying the whole sovereign citizen routine, and it's really showing. Like Ms. Gletz said, most people at least come in with some paperwork, something to argue. But this dude, he's got nothing. Just tossing out random, baseless questions like he's at some kind of legal open mic night. You'd think if he was going to pull the whole "I don't recognize your authority" act, he'd come in with a game plan. But nope, just winging it, throwing out sovereign buzzwords with no real direction.
I have a question.
Things that you may have picked up here or there on the internet or by other people, I don't know where you get some of this stuff, but it is very common for people, certain individuals, to come in and start repeating some of this stuff that so far I haven't heard anything that has merit. These arguments of, well, you're either maritime or you're common law. That's not going to carry weight with me. You're going to have to give me something that tells me I have to follow those arguments, because I think you're misstating the law. So by now you should have had all your motions on file. We're ready.
Maybe misunderstood what I was
please
asking.
Don't interrupt to me.
I had a question.
Sir, stop and listen to me. If you want a jury trial, I will make sure you have a jury trial. If you want to represent, sir, stop interrupting me. If you want a jury trial, I will make sure you have a jury trial. If you want an attorney, I'll make sure you have an attorney to help you. But if you're going to do this on your own, you need to know what you're doing, and you need to follow the law just as an attorney would be expected to. But you're not going to come in here and just start saying things, and I'll answer questions as long as they're legitimate questions. So at this point, I'll ask you once again, are you sure you don't want an attorney to help you, someone who is trained in the law? Because this, sir, is a court of law, and if you don't have the benefit of knowing the law, you're going to be disadvantaged.
Well, before I move forward, I had questions before I move forward. That's why I was asking. So I understand it. I often understand this.
Well, I can't aid you in the unauthorized practice of law. I cannot.
No, I'm not asking. I'm not asking for legal advice. I'm asking for your legal intent. What do you intend to be trying me with jurisdiction? That's why I'm asking if it's under which one. And you said it's a criminal matter. If it's criminal, sir, there's someone's been hurt. So if there's someone's been hurt, I have the right to cross-examine.
I have answered your question legally, and you keep trying to give me limited illegal choices, and I'm not going to do that.
Under the Sixth Amendment, I have the right to know. Under the Sixth Amendment, I have the right to know what jury I'm going to be tried against, and you have the duty to tell me. I don't think you're going to be violating your oath to office if you did that.
I've answered those questions, sir.
Yep, she answered those questions crystal clear. And he's still out here pretending to be confused. What's wild is he's totally misunderstanding the Sixth Amendment. It gives you the right to be informed of the charges against you, not to turn the courtroom into some kind of live Q&A free-for-all. It literally just means the court has to tell you what you're being accused of, not chase down 100 irrelevant side quests. So all these extra questions he's tossing out, yeah, they're doing nothing for him, other than slowly draining the judge's patience. Let me know what you all think of this guy so far, because to me it's pretty obvious this dude is a rookie sovereign citizen, and this might just be his very first attempt at the act.
We need to move on. I've made it clear to you, it's a couple of hearings now, that you're being tried in the District Court of Greenwood County, Kansas, under the laws of the state of Kansas. And we're not going to keep running in circles on this.
That is not.
You know this, and I know this, and I feel like you're just kind of.
No, what I'm asking, so the court the Constitution only grants the court under when it comes to criminal under two matters, and that's why I asked you: is it civil? Is it civil or is it criminal? But you said it's criminal, so it's not civil, right?
Sir, you can reserve your right for appeal, but I have ruled. Now, what's your next question or your next point of view? And I need to have you back here. Bring your camera back so I can see you.
Your phone froze. I didn't hear what you said. Your phone froze. It froze.
I don't know if my phone froze or your deal.
Oh, my phone froze. You cut out for a second.
Okay, so do you want an attorney? I'll ask you that again.
Before I get to that, I still have to find out. I have the 6-minute right to know. If I ask, I have the right to know. I'm not asking for a legal advice. I'm asking for your legal intent.
Do you want a jury trial and do you want a lawyer? Those are the two things.
Before I get to that, I have to understand what jurisdiction I'm under so I can rightfully know how to defend myself.
Okay, you don't like my ruling.
So are you telling me I have to get a lawyer to understand? For the record, you just have to get a lawyer to find out what I'm going to be tried against? Is that just some type of secret jurisdiction that I should know about?
Okay, sir. Here's the deal. I'm not going to play games with you. I understand the sovereign citizen position that you take.
I didn't say anything about sovereign anything, ma'am. I'm asking you how to right to defend myself. Under my Sixth Amendment right to know, I have right to know which jurisdiction are you going to try me under, and you're telling me in order to ask me for a lawyer. And I'm like, before I even go to trial, I like to know what jurisdiction I'm falling up under. And you're telling me in order to find out, I have to get a lawyer. So you're telling me for the record, the defendant has to get a lawyer because there's only lawyers understand what jurisdiction or what I'm going to be tried under. So that's the only way I can know. Instead of you asking me, but you have the duty to tell me under the Sixth Amendment. Do you not?
At this point, I really think the judge needs to stop entertaining the nonsense and lay it out plain. Two choices. Take the contempt charge or go to a jury trial. No more games. We all see what this guy is trying to do, right? To me, it's obvious. He's stalling, hoping that if he drags things out long enough, the case will magically disappear like he's casting some kind of courtroom spell. Let me know in the comments if you think judges should start cracking down harder on this kind of stuff, because it's really getting out of hand. He's clearly just interrupting, trying to derail the whole process, like somehow the judge is going to throw her hands up and say, "You got me." At a certain point, the courtroom isn't a stage for your sovereign citizen roleplay. This is like watching someone try to win a chess match by juggling the pieces. It's chaotic, pointless, and it's not going to work.
Okay, now it's your turn to stop talking and my turn to talk. I have answered your questions. I've told you the jurisdiction. You don't like my answers, so you voice your objection for appeal and we move on. We're not going to keep playing this game, sir. Now, do you want a lawyer or do you not?
I need a lawyer for you to tell me when I'm asking you, because you said it's not a criminal matter, so there's a hurt party.
Sir, quit repeating yourself.
If there's a hurt party, can you present the hurt party to me?
If you keep sitting here wanting to argue with the court, I may have to find you in contempt. Is that what you're trying to get me?
I'm not arguing about the court. I'm trying to understand. I'm still not understanding what the whole.
I cannot educate you and train you
I'm not
on
asking
law.
for educate because
If you want to, sir, you know there's a person that's going to try to type out this transcript, and if you keep talking over me, do you know what chaos you're going to cause for that transcriptionist? We have to take turns talking. I've answered your question repeatedly. Let's move on to the next question. Or the next point. You don't have any motions I can rule on because you don't have anything in the file. So, are you going to hire an attorney, apply for court appointed, or continue on your waiver?
So if you're gonna try one, is there someone that was hurt to make a criminal matter? I like to know who it was.
Are you going to hire an attorney, apply for court appointed, or continue to waive your right and represent yourself? Keeping in mind, sir, if you waive your right to an attorney, you will be held to the same standards as a defendant with an attorney. You will be held to the same standards as the attorney. You need to know the same rules, procedures, and laws. So, what are you going to do on the issue of attorney? Continue to.
I'm just simply asking you to identify which the code of the written law that you're asking to do. I'm just asking you to which code is that you're bringing against me as constitutional law. Because if that's a similar law,
taking up time. Can you not understand what I'm saying?
Do you guys think this dude is actually confused, or is he just playing dumb on purpose? Honestly, I think it's a mix of both, but let's be real, he's definitely putting on an act. He's playing Tommy here, no doubt in my mind. The judge has asked him the same questions 6 times, and he's out here dodging it like he's in the championship round of dodgeball. At this point, it's not confusion, it's straight up disrespect. I'm sitting here like, come on, judge, it's contempt time. Wrap this circus up. He's not lost. He's looking down at what's clearly some $5 Facebook script, reading lines like it's going to unlock a secret door out of the courtroom. He's stalling like his freedom depends on it, which, spoiler alert, it kind of does. But what do you all think? Is he just playing dumb, or is this guy actually running on negative IQ? Let me know in the comments.
Yeah, ask me if I want a lawyer. If I want a, I'm not moving forward because I'm not understanding where we're still going under here. Where you're telling me like something criminal matter. If it's not what if it makes a criminal matter, that means it has to be like some injured party. Where is injured party at?
I'm going to order that you appear at the courthouse. Where are you parked right now?
I'm in Texas.
You do know your trial is Wednesday, and you have to physically be present in the courthouse. It is not a Zoom.
Before we get to trial, I'm trying to figure out the jurisdiction. You said what the jurisdiction is.
Well, if you don't want to submit to the Kansas jurisdiction for your live trial on Wednesday, I can get you a warrant and you can be brought before the court.
Though it's pretty obvious now that this guy is trying to prolong the case in order to buy time. Likely so he can stay in Texas or just ghost this whole thing by getting it dismissed. I'm really starting to like Judge Webster in this one. She's holding it down and doing a really solid job so far. However, let's get back in and see if Judge Webster is about to drop the hammer and hit him with the warrant here. At this point, it's not a question of whether he will be hit with this warrant. Rather, it's a question of when.
Yes, I'm appearing in person right now. I'm doing my duty to appear, but you're not telling me.
We're not having a Zoom jury trial.
They're not telling me. You're not telling me you're not even telling me what the nature of the cause. You're not telling me. You're not even telling me if it's common law. If it's common law, then you telling me that it's a criminal. If it's criminal, then there should be an injured party. I'm asking, where's the injured party? Can you bring the injured party forward?
Mr. Kervin, you are set for jury trial.
But before we even get to trial, now you still haven't answered my questions. But I still want to know the cause of nature of the matter.
Sir, I'm going to find you in contempt if you keep talking over me and being disrespectful.
Ma'am, you keep not even answering my question. Before
all right,
jury trial, you're just setting it.
You are now found in contempt.
That's it.
We will deal with your consequences Wednesday at the jury trial. This is set for jury trial. It's going to cost the taxpayers some money, so you better make sure you're ready to go to jury trial come Wednesday. You better make sure you're not in Texas. You better make sure you're sitting in the courtroom in Greenwood County, Kansas. That's Eureka, Kansas. Do you understand, sir? Any questions about?
I still have questions that was never answered.
I'm not your attorney, sir. I'm your judge.
Yeah, I know you're not right attorney. I'm asking you, Judge, what is your legal, I'm asking for legal advice. I asked you what was your legal intent. You still haven't told me what your legal intent. I asked you what was the nature and cause of this
My legal intent is to conduct a jury trial on you Wednesday with the jury.
And what was the nature and cause of this whole before all that? What was
The
your nature and cause?
nature of this charge is that you are allegedly operating a motor vehicle without a license in Greenwood County, Kansas, November 9th, 2023. That's the nature. Now,
And you said it's when you and I asked.
We're not doing this.
I said a question. So when I asked you what jurisdiction, the court, the Constitution grants the courts the two jurisdictions, which one is common law, and the other one is maritime admiralty law. You said it's neither one of them.
Sir, you better go back to law school because I don't think you got the education you need to represent yourself. You either need to go back to law school or go to law school or get an attorney, sir, because you don't understand that which you're speaking of. So be ready to go. And if you're not here and ready to go, Wednesday, I will issue a warrant for your arrest.
Your Honor, I still have a question. You still haven't answered my question before you do this.
I told you, sir, I am not
under the Sixth Amendment, right? Under the Sixth Amendment, you have the
okay, I'm gonna fine you. I'm only gonna fine you $50 for that first contempt.
$50 for what?
For continuing to ask the same questions over and over after.
I'm asking it. You never answered it. You never told me.
I'm going to object. It's been asked and answered. It's been ruled on, Judge. We need to proceed to the next step.
Mr. Kervin, do you want a jury trial or a bench trial?
I want a jury trial.
Oh, yes, I am so excited to see that one guy. And as you're all aware, I will post it as soon as I find it. If this guy doesn't hire a lawyer right away, he will undoubtedly face the maximum penalty. It's not even a question at this point. And how is this clown going to get to Kansas when he is currently stuck in Texas? I mean, at this point, I just can't wait to see the next part. Tell me what you think of this guy so far.
Let's see, do we have tomorrow open? Let's see, we've got a 9 o'clock docket. What do we have going on tomorrow afternoon, Missy?
We have first appearances, and I haven't looked at them yet. And then...
Okay, and then we have 3:30.
Yeah, we have a couple at 3:30, and then we have a 4 o'clock case.
Ms. Gillette, can I continue this for further pretrial hearing with the live hearing, defendant present tomorrow at, what do you have? Can you fit me in at, 2:30, Missy? Do you have time then? Pick me a time. Give me about a half an hour tomorrow that you can fit me in.
I think our 11 o'clock went off. Let me...
I was going to say 11 o'clock is the perfect time for the state, Judge.
Well, but I've got to give Mr. Kervin... I've got to give... Sir, please, quit interrupting. This is not a free-for-all. Miss Gillette, we've got to give him time to drive up from Texas. Yeah. Well, if he doesn't have a license, he can't drive. We have to give him time to find someone who can drive him up here or give him time for a plane ticket or however he wants to get here.
1 o'clock p.m. from 1 to 1:30. Then we can start the first appearance docket at 1:30.
Sounds good. Okay. Sir, this is going to be a live pretrial hearing tomorrow at 1 p.m. You must be
I cannot make it tomorrow, ma'am. I'm in Texas. That's all I was trying to tell you from before.
Well,
you told me you said Wednesday at first, and now you're saying tomorrow.
Well, your jury trial is Wednesday. Your pretrial is continued to 1 p.m. tomorrow. There is no law that says I have to give you a Zoom hearing. I try to do that as a courtesy.
I could do the Zoom, but I want me to drive because it's where I'm at. Like I'm already like right here by San Antonio. It's like about a 14-hour drive. Like even if I drove right now, I would still wouldn't make it to probably 2, and I would drive this 32, 14. That's like half the day driving. Now I don't have nobody to drive like that. You know, man. That's why
if you don't have a license, you better not be driving because then that'll be another violation of the law. But that's my order. Be here at 1 o'clock tomorrow, live and in person. If you're not here, then most likely a warrant would issue for your arrest, and we'd go from there.
Well, I'm telling you, if I wouldn't make it, what's my other option? If I'm already in Texas, not to, that's hours away. You know, it's like about 4 different states.
Well, sir, you came to Kansas, you violated the laws allegedly in Kansas, and you've taken up a lot of the court and counsel's time. So,
Well, I was told the
you're,
officer said he told me I can take care of it from Texas. I would have to come back to Kansas when when I see the
I have
ticket.
always told you that the trial would be live. Don't be pulling that on
No, no,
me.
no, not you. I'm talking about the officer when I got the ticket when I first got it. I let him know like I was just coming through Kansas. Like I don't you don't live here. She said normally it's to do video and stuff because it's like different state.
Normally it is, but I'm ordering that you be here in person tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And anything further, Miss Gillette?
Nothing at this time.
Hold on, my phone cut out. Hold on. So,
Mr. Curvin,
say it again, man.
any motions you want to take up tomorrow at the pretrial, you better have them filed by 5 o'clock tonight with copies served on the prosecutor, or I'm not going to entertain them tomorrow. You've had a long time to get
Did
those
you
on
have you
file,
received?
and you haven't done it. And I'm through with repeating myself over and over. So at this time, you owe the court $50 for contempt, and we'll address that tomorrow as well. Okay, we'll be in recess.
When I have a
Thank you,
question
Judge.
before we go, when you said when you said like how to file the motions and everything, did you receive my special appearance motion or anything like that?
Nope. No, sir.
You hadn't received it from last time?
Nope.
I filed that before.
No, sir. I don't know what you're doing with them, but we're not getting them here.
I was told that you had received them through email, or I sent the email
Okay,
to I sent it
sir.
3 times. Not like that was the only what.
If you can't figure out how to do it on your own, then you need an attorney. And I have told you repeatedly that if you cannot afford an attorney, you can't
No,
apply,
they told me
and I will appoint one.
they told me they had received them before. That's why I was understanding. Like you say you never received them, but you say you received them before. Like the first time we appeared, and then I haven't received them. I
Mr.
even called.
Curvin, just because you keep repeating something doesn't mean you're going to get a different result.
No, I haven't repeated. I'm asking like they never received it, but they told me they did. That's just
You keep saying the things over and over, thinking like you're going to get a different result, and the answer is going to be the same every time.
okay. You have a good day, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Don't worry, I got you with the update. So yeah, turns out this clown didn't even bother showing up to his pre-trial. Shocking, right? And honestly, I highly doubt he's going to show up on Wednesday either, especially since the guy isn't even legally allowed to drive. So yeah, if he skips at 1-2, he's getting picked up on that warrant real quick, which means the next time we see him, it might just be in cuffs. And you already know I'll be watching that like a hawk. If he pops up in court on that warrant arrest, best believe I'll have the clips ready for you. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you thought of the hearing. How do you think the judge handled it? Personally, I think she did a solid job with what she had to work with. If you enjoyed the video, a like and subscribe would mean a lot. It really helps me out. Thanks for watching, and take care, everybody.